Hey everybody, Carolyn here, Holistic Anxiety Coach. I hope you all are doing well today. I wanted to hop on and talk about sleep. I know this is a big topic for all of us really, but especially for people that struggle with an anxiety. Oftentimes we have trouble getting to sleep. And one of the challenges, hey you guys, how's it going? One of the challenges there is when we don't get enough sleep, or I know for myself, when I don't get enough sleep, I don't have the same resiliency the next day that I normally would, as far as, hey Greta, so glad you're on. As far as if something comes up that might normally not maybe make me anxious, if I'm well rested, it will if I don't have enough sleep. Like I just can't process things as well. I can't deal with things as well. And so that's what I mean by when I say resiliency. Like I don't have the same resiliency as I do when I'm well rested. So let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Does that happen for you? And one of the challenges is when we have anxiety, a lot of times we have a hard time getting to sleep. And so it's feeding into each other because we're not getting enough sleep. And then we have increased anxiety the next day, and then it's harder to sleep, etc. And so we see the problem there, right? So I kind of wanted to give you guys some tips if this was something that you struggle with, to kind of create what I like to call a power down hour, so that you can be getting more rest and then have more resiliency the next day, and things won't impact you as much. You'll be able to move through anything that comes up, or any kind of maybe a little bit of chaos or craziness in your life much more easily, which is what we want, right? So some tips to create your own power down hour. Well, first of all, I just want to kind of put out there that our natural cycles of sleep and wake time, if you fall asleep by 10, you're gonna have an easier time falling asleep versus if you stay up beyond that, typically. And I totally see this for myself. I don't know if you guys, let me know if you guys notice this too, but if I'm beyond the 10 o'clock mark, I kind of get like a second wind. And that doesn't help me fall asleep, right? Then I'm like, okay, what to do now? And doesn't work well for me. So you want to try to, ideally, start a power down hour, more around the 9 o'clock hour if possible. If not, that's fine. You got to go with what works for you. But it's nice to be able to work with your body's natural rhythm, right? So you want to kind of just start by like maybe dimming the lights after dusk, kind of set the mood. Some people like to use magnesium powder for sleeping. It is very helpful. So if that's something you want to try, you can add some magnesium powder to a warm cup of water, and that can help promote a nice restful sleep and make you tired. And of course, I know you guys have heard before, I'm sure, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but the more we can set up like a consistent sleep and wake cycle, the easier it is for our body to recognize, okay, it's time for sleep, and it will settle down more quickly. In keeping with this natural rhythm, if your body's having to digest a lot of food at night, it's harder to fall asleep a lot of times. So if you can keep, limit any snacks or heavy food to earlier in the evening to give your body kind of time to digest, and that's going to be helpful as well. In addition to that, if your body has digested most of the food already, it can put more energy into really doing its, detox of the body, and really getting a better, deeper rest and more restorative rest, I guess is what kind of the word I'm looking for there. So that's just some tips to start with. So a few more things is having a really dark room. And maybe if you live where it's kind of noisy, or even if you don't, for me, I do like white noise when I sleep. So maybe that's something you might like to try. You do want to have like a nice cool environment, and you want to limit exposure to that blue light, from your phone or from a TV or from, your computer. Ideally starting a couple hours before you want to be drifting off to sleep. And so what will you do during this power down hour if you're not watching TV or, on your phone or computer or working? So some ideas there would be some nice gentle stretching or some yoga, maybe some breath work is really good. Meditation is a great way to really start to unwind. Journaling. I love to journal before bed because many of us that have anxiety, I know this was me, and journaling makes a huge difference for me. Get all the, every thought that you could ever think comes up when you're trying to go to sleep, right? So if you can journal that out before it's time to sleep, many people do find that helpful, so that's something you might want to try. Even just like connection, having a nice conversation with a loved one or some cuddle time or things like that. For some people, that really helps to calm them down and get them in the sleepy mood. Let's see what else. A gratitude practice is great. So when I journal, I do add that in at the end of my journaling time to just think of, at least 3 things that I was really genuinely thankful for that day. And that's a nice way to end the day versus, thinking about should've, could've, would've, and all the things I have to do the next day or whatever other thoughts, that tend to come up when you finally have that quiet at the end of the day and are unwinding. And then I think I also did not mention yet, like taking a nice bath. And if you have like Epsom salts to do that with, that's really calming because it has magnesium in it too. So if you want to do it that way, that's always really nice. But I know we don't always have the time or the indulgence to be able to do that every night. So, but it's nice to do at least on occasion, right? So those are the tips I kind of wanted to put out there today. I noticed for myself lately, or not lately, it was just like a couple of days really, that I was having a hard time falling asleep at night. And then the next day for me was just like more of a struggle. And so I know if it's happening for me sometimes, it happens for you all probably at least sometimes. So when I get a good sleep, it just totally changes my next day. It totally changes how I can deal with things, what my level of resiliency, what I can tolerate without feeling really on edge or cranky or snappy or higher levels of anxiety and all that kind of stuff that none of us like to feel. And when we're bringing that into caring for our families or caring for, doing our jobs or getting along with our coworkers or whatever it might be, it's not really helpful, right? It's not for me, everybody knows if mama hasn't gotten enough sleep, it's not good, right? So that's it for today. If this is something that resonates with you, post below. If it's something that you want more help with, or you are looking really for more one-on-one help in dealing with your stress and anxiety, I will post the link in the comments to my calendar if you wanted to book a one-on-one call with me. It's complimentary just to see where you're getting stuck and to see if we can come up with a plan and see if maybe working together would be a good fit. I'll put that in the comments, and that's all. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.